Welcome to Blue Gum Park, Australia. It's been at least 4 months since I've last done a video. Do apologise for that, but I had an incident where I fractured my spine, so I was unable to work for quite a while. Just to add to the fact, I've got a fused lower back and a fused neck and a spinal cord stimulator implant, so now I've played the hypochondria card. I'm just refitting the belts to my zero-turn mower because one of them's come loose. So here's Sam the lamb, who was abandoned by his mum. His mum had triplets, so he was the abandoned one. So now he's the fat house lamb that runs around the paddock and chews on everything, as you can see. So when you're going to do anything with your mower belts, you remove the height pin, and that lowers the deck right down for you to give you plenty of room underneath to work on your belts. So we'll just get round here and we'll move Sam the pet lamb. So just hop out of the road there, please, Sam. Yep, say hello to everyone. G'day, everyone. Right, off he goes. So under here, the cutting belt. So on the belt system, there's always a tensioner pulley. Now, the spring there pulls tension against the belt. So we've got two types of pulleys here. We've got flat pulleys, which my hand's on there, which runs on the back of the belt. And then we've got our two V pulleys, far right and far left of screen. They're the ones that are attached to the cutter belts, cutter blades that spin. So the V's where you get your grip, and the other ones are just to hold the belt in tension. So we pull that pulley there and loosen the belt and remove it. So that just gives me more room to work at the back here. So that's the V bit on the top of the cutter head there. So it gives you this bite to pull the blades around. So, and there's our flat one that just guides, and there's our tensioner pulley again. So it runs on the back of the belt. And then down to the back there, you can see the actual drive pulley off the bottom of the motor there. So in this case, the cutter belt's fine. What happened is we lost drive in the paddock. So the drive belt that runs the hydraulics had fallen off. So here underneath there, you can see it's dropped off that pulley there with the blades on it. The blades are a cooling fan to blow motor up on the hydraulic systems and the motor above. So every now and again a stick will fly up and dislodge the belt up over that fan. So once again, we've got a tensioner pulley there. It's a much smaller one. So sometimes what you can, if you don't have enough strength in your hands, you can put a socket on that with a socket wrench, and that gives you a lot more leverage to pull against the spring there to take the tension off the belt so you can work with it. So if you had to replace this belt on the drive, with the cutter belt gone, it will just drop over the bottom of the actual drive pulley there off the motor. It'll just pull off around there, so you don't need any specialised tools to change belts on these mowers. So what I'm doing is just sliding the belt back off the tensioner pulley there, so it's off now. So now I've got enough slack to lift it up and over the fan blades there on the pulley to put the belt back up on the top and back on the drive pump of the hydraulics, so the mower will move again. So yeah, this usually happens in a most inconvenient spot, like in the middle of a paddock when you're mowing a walking track. A stick will go up and fly around on those blades and take the belt off on you, and then you're stuck in neutral. So then you have to tow the mower back up to work on it on a more clear area. So I've just got him back over the belts there now. Just going around there, yep. So once you get it over there, we go back and just drop the belt over the tensioner pulley to pull it all tight again, and it's right to go. So I'm just going to do that now with my hands. So as I say, if you don't have the strength in your hands, the nut on the tensioner pulley, you can drop a socket over that, then put your socket wrench on it and use that to pull the tension on it. It's the same as your belt assembly on your car around your water pump and your alternator. Unfortunately, with most cars, you have to take the radiator out to be able to fit a socket wrench down there. So this one here, plenty of room, so you can just do it there like that. She's back over, good as new. So it's all ready to go. So we'll go and put the cutter belt back on because I don't need to remove it. So because it wasn't too damaged, so she's right for a while. So cutter belt back on, and then go back up the other end and just reinstall the cutter belt, pretty much the same as what we did in the back. So you pull it up over the drive of the back, and it's always heaps of grass in the road. So I'm just going to get it lined up on all the pulleys there, and then I'll pull that tensioner pulley back and just slip the belt over the top of it, and she's right to roll. So here we go, just pull it there. I'm just going to organise that belt a bit better. Now not happy with the camera, so I'm going to move the camera just to be a bit pedantic, which didn't really have to do. So here we go, going to relocate. There. Then we readjust it there. Then she's back on. Then away, ready to go. All good. So that's all done. Now I'll get up, and next door, of course, they're harvesting at the moment. So just thought I'd give you a bit of a quick view here. I zoom in on it, so it's a bit shaky with my hands. But there you go. There's a big John Deere harvester right next door in the neighbour's paddock there. It'd have a couple more belts than my little toy zero turn. So yeah. Now on all zero turns, if you've lost drive, these little levers there, I'm just putting it back on. That's back in gear. You pull it back up to the top there like that, and you can actually push your mower around. So if you ever get stuck on a zero turn, there's a lever somewhere on the back of them on both sides that you can pull up and disengage the drive gear, so you can push the mower back and then work on it or tow it. Here's our little test pilot. So James is going to give it a drive to make sure it drives back and forwards for me. He's not going to play with the cutters. He just drives it around, tows trailers around, and we're just going to test to make sure it's all good again, because it had to get towed up from the paddock the other day. So away we go. Got to start it up, and we have drive. She's all back together again. You beauty. So once again, thanks for watching, and hopefully it won't be too far between videos now. So once again, really appreciate the views, and yeah, thanks for watching.